Chapter 13, on Death, Dying, and Bereavement. Not a very comfortable topic for a lot of people. The first part of the chapter talks about preparing for death. Then it talks about managing death. And then it talks about hospice care. Now there's a document that we're going to talk about here that is useful in these areas. It's called the 5 Wishes. The 5 Wishes is an easy-to-use advanced directive document written in everyday language. It helps all adults, regardless of age or health, to consider and document how they want to be cared for at the end of their life. Right now, it's America's most popular living will. There are more than 30 million copies of this document in circulation. 5 Wishes is unique among all other living will and health agent forms because it speaks to all of a person's needs, not just medical, but also physical, emotional, and spiritual. It helps to guide and structure discussions with your family and with your physician. It makes these conversations easier. An accident or a serious illness can happen to any one of us at any time. And think about what might happen if you're unable to make healthcare decisions for yourself. Will your loved ones know what it is that you want, or will they have to guess? Will they wonder if they made the right decisions? Talking about this ahead of time before a medical crisis is a gift that you give yourself and your loved ones. 100% of us is going to die. And the question that you have to ask is, what kind of end-of-life experience do you want? In America, death is often prolonged. It's uncomfortable. And it's costly. 80% of Americans say they want to die in a home-like setting. However, 75% of Americans die in hospitals and nursing homes. 18% of those hospital patients die in the ICU. Are we paying too much to prolong the life of terminally ill patients? In 2008, Medicare paid out $50 billion for the care of their patients in the last 2 months of these people's lives. And just a day in the ICU unit can cost tens of thousands of dollars for a very ill patient. These are people at the end of their life, and a lot of money is going into this. Is it money well spent? While the family members want to do everything that they can to save a loved one's life, one physician states, denial of death at some point becomes a delusion, and we start acting in ways that make no sense whatsoever. Denial of death at some point becomes a delusion, and we start acting in ways that don't make sense. People don't deal well with death, and it helps if you're prepared. There's 2 types of legal documents that help in this preparation for death. One of them is a living will, and a living will describes the kind of care that either you do or you don't want. And the other legal document is your healthcare proxy. Who is the person who is going to speak for you when you no longer can speak for yourself? So, why does anyone need the 5 Wishes? We've got these other 2 documents. Well, you want to ensure that you receive the type of care that you want. The 5 documents is a gift to your loved ones. It's a gift to people who need to make decisions for you and who want to do what it is that they believe you would have wanted. And the 5 wishes is important regardless of your age or your health status. And it's something that should be updated periodically. So, what's so special about this 5 wishes? Well, it's like an advanced directive. And it's very easy to understand. It's very easy to fill out. What it does is it addresses specific interventions, specifics, how a person wants to be treated if they're in a condition where they cannot speak for themselves. And one of the advantages of the 5 wishes is that you do not need an attorney to make it happen. 5 wishes talks about what a person wants, and it talks about it on many different levels. There's the medical. That's the most obvious one. But also spiritual, which is very important at time of death. And the emotional side of what a person wants. We want a person to be emotionally happy, stable in this process. And finally, it talks about cultural issues, because different cultures handle death different ways. The 5 Wishes document encourages discussion with family, friends, and doctors about what it is that a person wants. And it goes beyond cookie-cutter language. It is used in everyday language, and it's not doctor speak or legalese. It's easy to understand, and talks about specifics that are important to a person. It's legal and binding in 42 states, including Massachusetts. It requires 2 witnesses to sign who are not related to you and who are not your healthcare proxy. It does not require a lawyer, and if you want to update it, all you have to do is destroy the copies that are out there and create a new one. So, what are these 5 wishes? The 5 Wishes is a document that addresses who you want to make the care decisions for you when you're not able to, what kind of medical treatment you do or you don't want, how comfortable you want to be, how you want people to treat you, not just doctors, but how you want everybody to treat you, and what you want those loved ones to know. The first thing it talks about is who makes your healthcare decisions for you when you can't. And this is where you need to pick the right person. You have to pick someone who knows you well and someone who will carry out your wishes. Also, this person should be local. And you want to make sure that this person who you've chosen to be your speaker when you can't speak, you want to make sure that this person knows exactly what it is you want. What kind of medical treatment do you want? This part is what people know, referred to as a living will. And it gives instructions for your health care provider, your caregivers. What do you want for pain? What do you want if you stop breathing? What do you want if you can't eat? Do you want dialysis? Specifics. And also it talks about what do you want in certain situations, such as, what if you go into a coma? What if you have a very severe head injury? How do you want to be treated? 5 Wishes talks about how comfortable you want to be. So what's going to make you comfortable? How do you feel about pain management? Do you want no pain? Do you want whatever medication they can give you? Or are you somebody who doesn't want much pain medication for a while, who would rather be able to be alert and converse with people than to have the pain relief? What's your favorite music? Is there some music that you would like to listen to when you are in your final days, when you're not well? I know myself, I don't think anybody would be aware or willing to play the Aerosmith music that I would really like to listen to when I'm not able to do it myself. Do you want religious readings? What readings do you want? Or maybe you don't want any of that. Do you want hospice involved? Some people absolutely don't. And the next thing the Five Wishes talks about is, how do you want people to treat you? Do you want people to be at your bedside, hold your hand, and talk to you, say prayers? Or do you want to be left alone? Do you want just pictures and not people? Most people would like to die at home if at all possible. Some people really don't have a preference. You'll hear some seniors say that they'd rather go into a nursing home than bother their family. Whereas others say, no way, never put me in a nursing home. So this is a chance to say what your feelings are. Finally, what is it that you want to say to your loved ones? What do you want them to know? If there's something that's deeply important, this is your chance to tell your loved ones. What are your funeral wishes? Are there certain songs you want to be sung? Certain readings you want to be read? Do you want to be buried? Or do you want to be cremated? Some people have strong feelings, strong opinions about these. So you fill out the entire Five Wishes forms, every page that addresses all the sections that we just discussed. And then you complete the signing of it carefully. You read and reread everything that you wrote about. You have 2 witnesses sign it. And in front of those 2 witnesses, you sign. You make copies of this 5 wishes for your family, your friends, your healthcare agent, and your doctor. You keep the original, and you discuss it with the appropriate people. This is all part of aging with dignity. Now here's a 5 wishes document, a sample. We're just going to go through it quickly. Here's the explanation of what the 5 wishes is and how it can help you. The states that accept it as a legal document. The person that you want to be your healthcare agent. The kind of medical treatment that you do or you don't want. What does life support mean to you? Here you can put any specifics that you want. Specifics. Say you have a severe brain injury, you're not expected to recover. You're in a coma, not expected to wake up. Any other condition where you don't want to be kept alive. How comfortable do you want to be? How do you want people to treat you? What do you want your loved ones to know? And here you sign it, and you have 2 witnesses sign it, and it gives you instructions on what to do. This is a very helpful document, and it's very important. It's important for everybody because, like I said earlier, none of us know when we will be in a serious accident or have a medical condition. However, it's extremely important for the seniors in your life, anybody that you care about. I would recommend that you fill out this document with them. Give them this document to complete so that their death can be as they wish for it to be.